a most imprudent attachment. Miss Eugenia Fairweather had, for 28 years, been the ornament of her father's house, admired for her beauty, wit, and the considerable fortune that rendered her quite the most eligible young lady in all of Hertfordshire. It was therefore a matter of some distress to her family when she began frequenting, of all places, a cobbler's shop. The establishment in question belonged to Mr. Thomas Becket, a gentleman only in the sense that he possessed excellent manners and a face too handsome for a tradesman. He was, alas, unburdened by wealth, title, or even a respectable carriage, which made Miss Fairweather's frequent need for urgent shoe repairs the subject of much whispering. "I declare, Eugenia," sighed her mother one afternoon, "your slippers do not wear out at such a rate. It is unnatural." "I have a very forceful step, Mamma," Eugenia replied, with an air of perfect innocence. Unbeknownst to her family, Eugenia had not merely developed an appreciation for fine craftsmanship. She had, to her great alarm, fallen quite in love with Mr. Becket. His honesty, wit, and complete indifference to her fortune were more thrilling than any ballroom flirtation. Indeed, on one occasion he had gone so far as to refuse payment for a repair, declaring, "Madam, I cannot charge you for a task so small." A man immune to money? The sensation was intoxicating. One afternoon, emboldened by affection, she lingered in his shop as he polished a pair of boots. "Mr. Becket," she began, feigning interest in a buckle, "if a lady of means were to, hypothetically, wish to marry beneath her station, what do you suppose the world would say?" Mr. Becket did not look up from his work. "I imagine they would say she had lost all reason, forsaken her family, and doomed herself to a life of dreadful economy." Eugenia's heart sank. "And what would you say?" At last he raised his eyes to hers, dark and steady. "I would say she is exceedingly brave, and that if I were the man in question, I should spend my life proving her folly to be the most fortunate choice she ever made." Eugenia exhaled in relief. "Then you ought to know, sir, that I am remarkably brave." Mr. Becket smiled. "And I, madam, am already devoted to proving your wisdom." It was, to be sure, a most imprudent attachment. But as Miss Fairweather's mother later observed with a sigh, love rarely concerned itself with prudence.